All right, so we're going to real quick look at the pointer and the Subselect tool, aka the black versus white arrows in Gravit, as well as all the rest of the design programs out there, Illustrator and Corel and everything. So I've got a few different things here. The first one is a square built just using the shape tool, so our normal shape tool. Another little square rectangle built using the pen tool, and then a freeform shape using the pen tool. The reason we're going to look at both the shape and the pen tool is because these selectors work differently. So the selectors are up here. They're the first two objects, the pointer and the subselect tool. And you notice one is categorized with a black arrow when it's on your screen, and the other is a white arrow when it's on your screen. So the pointer tool, or the general select tool, generally will select everything that is currently connected to each other. So if I come grab this shape tool, when I click on it once, it selects the entire object, and I can move that entire object around without any problem. If I go to this right edge, and I just put my mouse right over one of these central bounding box points and drag, it drags the entire line. Same thing happens if I grab this corner and move in or out. Okay. On the pen tool, using that same general selection of the black arrow, if I click on it, it gives me the same options. I can pick up the whole object. If I grab just the center one, center bounding box marker, it moves just that one. Same thing with the corners. And down here, when we do the freeform shape, we have the same thing. If I click once, I can move the entire object, and then I can use the bounding box to scale the entire object. So that is our pointer tool, our general selection tool. The other one we have is the subselect tool. So this white arrow is more of a precision tool than the black arrow or the pointer. So if I come to a shape tool and click, I immediately get the entire thing selected. And I can drag the entire thing with this pointer, and then I can drag it just as I did with the black arrow. And that's because this was built with the shape tool, which is a special object. But now let's take the subselect tool over to this object made with the pen tool. When I click, you'll notice I get the 4 individual points that the pen tool originally created. On the shape tool, it gives me the full bounding box, which is these 9 round blue dots. But on the pen tool, it just gives me the 4 anchor points that were created by the pen tool. And if I grab a single one of these, left click and drag, you'll notice that I'm just moving that single individual point. Okay. And it allows me to move just that one point. Now I can click on one anchor, move to another, hold down the shift key and click again. And you'll notice that these 2 points are now highlighted. Now when I drag, it's moving both of those pieces in concert, and I can create an odd shape or skew some values together. With the pen tool on a freeform shape, when I click, again, I get all the anchor points that were used to create that shape. And I can, again, click on an individual one and move it separately. But what's really important is that now that I can click on a single access point or a single anchor point, I can look at the control handles. So when I click on this one, I get these 2 control handles. Over here in my appearance panel, I can modify those control handles. Right now, they're set to be asymmetric. Okay. That means I can pull the length of one without affecting the other. I can change them to disconnected, which means that when I grab one, it does not affect the other line at all. Okay. This is the same as pressing Alt when you create an object with the pen tool. The next one, I can make them mirrored, which means that the length of the control handles on either side stays equal to each other. And when I rotate, the other one rotates opposite it. So they're always staying perfectly aligned. And then the last one, I can create it into a straight joint, which means it doesn't have any control handles at all. I can just move that point, but I can always go ahead and turn it back into another one of these types of values. Okay. But those are the differences between the pointer and the subselect tool. The pointer is designed to select entire objects and only manipulate the entire object, whereas the subselect tool is designed to allow you to select an individual part of an object. And you'll notice when I use it on an empty spot, it adds an anchor point. So I can manipulate this piece even in more detail. So that's the big difference between the pointer and the subselect tool, or the black and white arrow in Gravit and all the rest of the design programs.